Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel, home of the BitSquad, the largest and greatest crypto community in all of the interwebs. My name is DEEZY, host of NFT Alpha Show, and we come to you Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your favorite guests. This is the best guest panel we've ever had in the history of the show, talking about your favorite topics. And if you like what they're saying, hit a +1 in the chat. We'll give them some points at the end. They get to leave some parting thoughts here. But we're going to be talking about ADA, doing a 50x, Opensea, Solana, Samsung NFTs, and we're going to be doing it with Crypto Factor on the top right. Watch out, because you know what he factors in? That good alpha news that we're going to be sharing to you today. Then on the bottom right, we got Debate Crypto. Will he disagree with some guests tonight? Maybe. We'll find out. Then on the bottom left, we have Mind Your Biz. They told him to mind his biz when he didn't have his papers at NFT LA. That's another story. You have to follow his channel to hear the story on that one. Then
papers,
on the top
please.
left,
Papers.
we have Ben Armstrong holding it down. He's got the soccer jersey on, but he's going to be hitting dingers tonight. So,
dingers.
All right, let's keep that undefeated streak going with the BitBoy Bombers. What do we call it? It's the softball league of businesses. Are there? I don't know.
It's beginner and intermediate, but
okay.
There's a team that hasn't lost in 3 years, so there's some really good players out there.
Oh, there's ringers. There's ringers.
It's just a men's softball. Men's open softball is what it is.
All right.
So,
well, cool stuff.
Yeah.
But before we get into those topics, let's look at the broader crypto markets. It is time for us to do a little market watch here. And it looks like maybe things are starting to slow down. We see Bitcoin, down a little over 1%, Ethereum a little under 1%. Now, Factor, I'm going to bring it to you first. We've had a long string of daily green candles with Ethereum, and we've seen great pumps for Bitcoin. Do you think we're finally hitting the top of the curve where maybe there would be a slight retracement in the near future?
Well, the thing with technical analysis is we see the charts as they are and as they go. Listen, I think we're gonna dip down to the 45K level, maybe 44, and I think we're gonna go straight up. We're gonna go back up. Now that said, if that doesn't work out, if that doesn't play, we have strong support at the 42K level and the 40K psychological. And if you want to get really analytical, is a 38.8, I think, or 38.9. I go by the psychological. So as long as we remain above these, we could have rebounded into our bull trend, if you will. So nothing tells me that we're not going to go up or continue going up until we break those levels. There's nothing I see.
Come on, everybody. Stop selling your Bitcoin. Let's get that thing above 50K here. But right now, we're going to be talking about Cardano and the huge 50X. They just had, not the price. You don't got to refresh. We don't have $60 Cardano, although that would be nice. No, we have Cardano. The large transaction volume is way up, as well as the whale wallets. We have whale wallets, 1 million to Cardano to 10 million Cardano, 42 new addresses just in the past week, and large transactions, which are over $100,000, have done a 50X, which is huge. We're talking the volume's gone from slightly over 1 billion Cardano, 1.3, all the way to 69 billion Cardano. I don't know why it just always ends up on that number, but I know it's nice. So we're seeing huge, whale activity. DeFi is starting to come online. We're starting to see, a lot of movement here. Now, Debate Crypto, I'm going to bring it to you here first. All this whale movement, do you think we're going to see some, price action that kind of reflects? Because I know we can't expect a 50X, but an all-time high was about 2.5 times higher than what it is right now. Is it possible to, maybe hit those $2 range, $3 range without a Bitcoin all-time high?
Well, you said without, you put the caveat there at the end. You said without Bitcoin hitting an all-time high. Actually, when I'm looking at some of the price action recently, some of the Bitcoin versus its all-time high versus some of the other alts, some of these alts have actually recovered decently quickly, and I think could make up some ground on Bitcoin. I think that people have shied away from the market a little bit. We've seen numbers drop everywhere in terms of social media. We've just kind of seen that all over, and I think that that's starting to trickle back in. And so, you're adding money, you're adding large transactions. People want to, quote, swim with the whales, and if that's happening in the Cardano ecosystem, fantastic. Yeah, I think you're going to see some price action from that. That being said, I think one of the biggest things that Cardano is doing is they're finally following through with what they said they're going to do. Charles Hoskinson has been such a, hey, I don't care about the price type of guy. Here's what we're doing. He's this philanthropist. He has all of these plans, and I think people were just, you know, fed up with it. And I think the pieces are starting to fall into place now, which I'm happy because I hold a nice bag of Cardano. But with the NFT space booming right now, and it has been, and Cardano jumping into that, yeah, I see nothing but upward price action. I could actually see an all-time high from Cardano, even if Bitcoin doesn't hit its all-time high. I think that they are kind of making up some ground there. So yeah.
Okay. Now, Ben, you know, we do see, I kind of want to share this chart showing off the market cap of these alts. Look at this. Look how close everything is. We have XRP, 41 billion, 40 billion for Cardano, 39 billion for Solana, 38 billion for Terra Luna. So we have a strong fight for that 6th spot when it comes to these altcoins. I was looking at the total value locked. Cardano only has a little over 300 million locked. Now, I know its market cap, it's barely 10% of Ethereum. So, you know, catching up to Ethereum's total value locked, a little unrealistic with the market cap. But why is it still lagging? Is it a time issue? Do we need to maybe zoom out 6 months into the future? Is that when we'll finally see Cardano start to catch up with its peers?
Well, I think that what you have to remember is that, you know, Cardano has been, and I'm going to, on my side, I'm going to pull up coin market cap so I can have those numbers right here in front of me. Cardano has been a top 10 coin in market cap almost since its inception in, I believe, September of 2017, if I remember correctly. There was a time during the bear market where it fell into the teens, and it may have dipped slightly into the 20s at some point, but never below that. It's one of the most consistent altcoins that we've had, right? Like XRP as well. XRP has also been consistently in the top 10. But we had Litecoin that was consistently in the top 10 and it is now fallen, you know, way down to number 21 at this point, but it feels like it has no momentum, you know? So you look at the direction of where Litecoin is going, and then you look at the direction of where Cardano is going, and there's nothing to, you know, make anyone believe that Cardano is not going to stay up there at this point. We have to get it out of our mind. I tell people this all the time, like, we're starting to see signs that this could be slowly changing, but you have to get out of your mind that TVL and that, you know, use case and number of dApps have an incredible impact on price speculation. They do not. Markets in general, they're psychological. They're not necessarily based on what is going on. You look at the stock market and they're always trying to pump up, you know, their numbers. We've got the quantitative easing, which has certainly helped the tech stocks to move. But really, like, are they being more innovative during the bull run in stocks than they were like when the iPhone was invented? You know, so it doesn't necessarily have to be where the size of the ecosystem and the projects themselves and how much are being used in the transactions, they're not going to line up. That's why we go through bear markets, is because it's all speculation, and people realize at some point, like, okay, I think we've over speculated on this value right now. So I've got no worries about Cardano. I think the way that they've handled, you know, their rough start, their rough launch, the congestion issues, you know, some NFT issues they were having, I think they handled it. I think they've gotten through it. We're seeing the ecosystem grow, and the price is going to go up, but don't expect it to make sense.
Wait a minute. You're telling me pumpamentals trumps fundamentals? I have all these stats here. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? You know, shout out to Ivan on Tech, by the way. We love Ivan on Tech here. All right, now, mind your biz. You know, you're the security expert, although you couldn't get past security. I'm joking, of course. But, you know, with DeFi being introduced on Cardano, is that an attack vector maybe we should be worried about? Like, what do you, I mean, all the Cardano programmers, they'll come forward and say, Cardano has superior security when it comes to Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, of course, or Solana. Is that really the case, though? I mean, are we just waiting for an exploit to happen on the Cardano blockchain?
Yeah, I mean, well, let's take those in reverse order. Are we waiting for an exploit to happen in DeFi? Basically, always yes, right? Like that idea from Silicon Valley of move fast and break things. When we talk about that happening on blockchain, we're talking about moving fast and breaking grandma's savings account, right? Or what used to be a CD, right? For your aunt and uncle. So we do have some concerns with any layer one moving into more advanced and more involved finance instruments. So yeah, with Cardano, it's day to have its CryptoKitties moment, so to speak. You know, we have yet to see that, but it is coming. Rest assured, like, the reckoning will happen. And when it happens, thankfully, there are a lot of well-meaning people who are very involved, and the developers are very responsive. So hopefully it'll be a day zero type thing where they're able to reverse any kind of problems that do come up. But they will come up. Like, anybody who tells you that Cardano is immune to having congestion on a layer one, I mean, whatever they're smoking, I guess, like, package that, go sell it in California and in Colorado. Because seriously, it happens to every layer one. And it's not a question of if, it's a question of when are people interested enough to actually give your chain full usage. And until you get people using these organic use cases on these layer ones, you don't really know. Right? So you can have all the hypothetical throughput, you can have all the test throughput, you can have various test benches trying to stress test a given network, and it still won't tell you exactly what the problem is going to be when you get there. I'm going to use as one case in point Solana, right? The number of times that it's had its validator network reset, I think we're going on well over a half dozen times now for Solana. Very high throughput chain. And I think that Cardano is going to have similar types of problems when it gets there, right? When we see other developers saying, like, we want to have these types of NFT games, play to earn games, and really high throughput, you know, high touch, high call smart contracts issued on Cardano. We're not going to know what that looks like until a developer just has the bright idea to make something like Sunflower Farm on Polygon, which brought it to its knees, or CryptoKitties on Ethereum. So it's going to happen, DEEZY, but your guess is as good as mine as to exactly when.
Okay. Now, real quick, Crypto Factor, I want to share the screen one more time. This is the market caps. We have XRP, Cardano, Solana, Terra Luna, all fighting to get into that top 5 spot to dethrone USDC. Is it possible for Cardano, Crypto Factor, to beat their peers and be that first altcoin to reach into the top 5? Or do you think there's no way XRP, Solana, or Terra Luna is just going to not let that happen?
So anything is possible. The question is it probable? And right now, probable, I can't really evaluate that, but I do know that every single cryptocurrency you just mentioned has a chance to do that. There's nothing that stops it. Now, of course, this is gonna make sense once more development comes out. Proof of concept comes out, and so on. More trust, as BitBoy Crypto said earlier on, speculation. That's what drives the markets. Yeah, it is possible. If it's probable or not, we don't know just yet.
All right. Well, we'll be keeping an eye on that and see which of those, I guess, probably break that $50 billion level. It's going to be a race. So looking forward to that. All right. Let's talk a little OpenSea. Where are my Solana NFT fans at? Again, you can always check it out on the NFT Alpha show. Make sure you're sub to that channel. But yeah, I know Solana, people have been waiting. They've been saying this is going to be added. OpenSea is adding Solana, and they say it's happening in April, 2 days away. If they would have said this on April 1st, I would have said, nope, you're lying. You're trying to fool me here. Now, they already have ETH, Polygon, Clayton. Most people are obviously using ETH for all the volume on there, but is getting massive, massive growth. OpenSea in the past couple months added almost 1 million users versus the number one Solana. They added maybe 10% of that. Is Magic Eden is the number one Solana marketplace. Looks Rare only added about 60,000 users. So massive, massive user base on OpenSea, about to be opened up to the Solana ecosystem. A lot of people are expecting, big, big movement here. I'm looking at some of their circulating supply. Yeah, Solana, I mean, it hit an all-time high. It's right now about $120. It's up way more than its peers. It's up 30% on the week, so definitely beating everything that's close right now. Now, Ben, OpenSea, they're adding Solana here. I mean, is it going to be hard for an up-and-coming competitor to compete with OpenSea here?
No, I don't think so. I think that basically they're doing the bare minimum to stay viable as a company. Look, they are the biggest in the space. A good way when I was having a conversation with somebody recently was to say that when you look at the exchanges out there, like the first time you opened up Coinbase, it might have been a little difficult for you to understand what was going on within the app, but you understand it's very simple to use. It's very, intuitive. But OpenSea to me is a lot more like a traditional exchange. It's kind of more like back end. It's not very clean. It's not a great site. And then of course, let's not get into the back end issues they've had, the exploits, all the problems, the insider trading. They are begging for someone to come and take them out. I think we will see that. Solana NFTs adding that, like, duh, if you are a viable NFT platform, you're going to have to eventually become interoperable with almost every chain. The fact that they are just now doing this is an embarrassment. These Mutant Apes have been out forever. When did do you know when they debuted, DZ?
Mutant Apes, originally April. I think it was about 3 months after that. I want to say it was roughly July, roughly.
So,
I could be off by about a month
9
or
months
so.
ago.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Maybe they wanted to add it, but they went to hit the button and the Solana blockchain was down. Yeah, maybe they paused it when they hit the button. But I think that, I do think that it is something that they do, they have to do, but they are definitely going to get taken out in this space. I think if you look at what LooksRare has done, if you look at what Rarible has done, they each have their own set of problems. And I think we're going to see something bigger and better that is going to solve all the problems that they are, the NFT platforms present. But if they didn't have problems and LooksRare had done it correctly and not done this wash trading and, sold off a bunch of their coin and said, well, we're pumping our own prices, then I think they would get a lot more traction and they would probably be able to do a lot better. So we are looking at what I believe the beginning of look, it's going to be viable. It's still going to continue as a platform, but the massive market share the OpenSea has had, we're seeing the beginning of the end of that.
All right. Maybe someone will zoom past that. I know I'd like to see
so.
that. Now, debate crypto. We're seeing really good action with Solana specifically. It's outperformed about everybody in the top 20. It's up 30% on the week. Most are up about 10%. So it's tripling everyone else's gains. Do you think that's what, this pump is related to? Maybe some people knew what was going on. People are bullish for Solana NFTs, people market buying Solana. Why do you think we're having such good price action lately with Solana?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. First of all, let me just say, until OpenSea gives my boy back his blue check mark, not shopping on there. Just throwing it out there. All right. They haven't done that.
That may end up being their, that might end up being their most dire mistake they ever made.
Yeah.
Hey, Pluto is a planet. Okay. So
That's right.
I'm upset by it too. Pluto is a planet.
That's right. So they need to work on that. But yeah, with Solana, I think Solana's been the trendy new thing as it relates to the NFT space. And so you obviously, I respectfully disagree with a little bit of what Ben said earlier about Cardano. I'm kind of tie this in together. Basically what I'm saying is they need the asset to be able to purchase what it is they're purchasing. And if they're interested in being on that chain, then they've got to get it from somewhere, right? And so I think that it does ultimately affect what's happening. Same thing with Solana. It might not have a massive effect because I think that the people that are already holders or the people that are in on the chain and, super bullish on the chain already are holders.
You don't get to come on my show and disagree with me, debate crypto.
Hey, this is debate crypto.
I want you to change your name to Agreeable Crypto. Okay. I just want to clarify that point. That's why I said I think that we're just starting to see the use case and the growth of these ecosystems having some effect on the price. I think we are starting to see that, and eventually we will see that across the board. I think what Terra Luna is doing with their Bitcoin purchases is going to affect things. It's obviously giving them a lot of publicity. But I think we're just starting to see glimpses of what eventually will be the market.
Yeah, and I think that ultimately these platforms, as they come out, and I think there's going to be some new platforms coming out that are going to do big things as well. I think that the more that they're able to offer people, the reality is in the crypto space, if somebody was a one-stop shop, like a truly one-stop shop where you could do NFTs, DeFi, just a standard exchange, if someone's going to be able to offer that, I believe I think that's what Coinbase is trying to get to. They're just not there yet. But if someone is able to truly corner the market and it's just one place, I can buy everything, I can sell everything, I can get into NFTs, I can get into DeFi, I can do yield farming, just all of it together. I think that they're going to do really well. And with Solana, I think that the price action had been down so much from where it went, that a lot of people ultimately saw an opportunity, and I think that opportunity has been gobbled up. However, I also am not a big fan of Solana. I think it's just backed by a bunch of VC money, and they're pumping the prices around. I don't know if you've heard Chamath Palihapitiya talk about it, but they've got some little dirty secret going on over there. But what they need to figure out is how to keep the freaking thing running. That's what they need to figure out.
All right, well, we'll get to that in a second, but first I want to ask Factor, who is the biggest benefactor of this integration with Solana and OpenSea? Is OpenSea being the big winner here, or is Solana being the big winner here, and why?
Well, first of all, just to add something I was listening to before, I don't think OpenSea is going anywhere for the next few years. And I'll tell you why. Maybe it's a bit faster because of crypto, but it's not going to go anywhere. And I'll tell you why. Branding. You know how you go to the supermarket and you just go to your go-to brand, you're used to a certain brand and you always get that? And even if you try another one, you always go to that brand. Well, it's the same thing with companies when they want to release their NFTs and everything. They want that certain, that liquidity, if you will, the certainty, the what they know. And it's very hard. Some people will try doing other platforms, but it's very hard to just change and go to another platform, an NFT platform, that fast. I used to work with Mintable.app. It takes a long time for certain trends to change, for certain use, people get used to the idea and everything to change and to accept something. They just go with what they're used to, even if another product is better, right? They'll just go with what they're used to for a while. I do agree with Ben on everything else. I'm pretty much sure he agrees with this as well, but he didn't, say a time frame. Now, as for which was the greatest benefactor from Solana and OpenSea, it's a hard question. I think they're both benefiting from it. But if I have to say someone benefited, I have to give it 50-50. I have to say both benefit.
All right, I'll say the winner then is the end user. Now, mind your biz. You probably know where I'm going to go with this.
I wish I said that, by the way. I just wish I said that. That was really good.
You're thinking it. Oh, wait, I got your note. You told me to say it for you, so appreciate you throwing me that line. Now, mind your biz. You probably know where I'm heading with this. You brought it up earlier. They had to shut down about, I think, around a half dozen times. Is this going to be too much for Solana? That first day, that first hour, everyone's, jumping ship. Sorry, Magic Eden. It was nice knowing you. I want to get my Solana NFTs on OpenSea. I market bought on Coinbase. I paid the arbitrage difference. I hit that Coinbase tax. I got it sent to the wallet 38 minutes later. I'm trying to buy it. Is it going to crash Solana when this happens?
I really think it depends on how many OpenSea employees are given insider information on the Solana-based drops. I think it really does boil down to that. Also, let's jump back just a little bit. Speaking of gatekeepers, you brought something up before as a little bit of a zinger there. I just want to very, very specific, without putting too fine a point on it. Hey, state of California, and more specifically, city of Los Angeles, get your poop in a group. Everybody else in your city voted against there being mask mandates or any kind of a requirement that people bring papers with them anywhere. And you're still doing this to people who visit your town. This is why I stopped paying taxes in your godforsaken state over a decade ago, and why I'll never pay taxes there again. So just and I meant every word of that.
You had to get that off your chest first. Real quick, they wouldn't let them in NFTLA. That's the backstory there.
At the door, right in front of a panel that I was invited to go speak at. So thank you very much, City of Los Angeles, for reminding me why I need to just shake the dust off my feet, and if I can avoid it, never return. Really, you guys get vacation money from me. You get beer money from me. You're never getting tax money from me again. So anyway, and I suggest anybody who's been considering it, really, the exodus was real after 2008. That's what prompted Satoshi to get all this crap started, was some of the stuff that was happening, the shenanigans in states like California that cannot get their financial house in order. So anyway, yeah, that said, as far as there being any kind of stress on Solana as a network, Man, I think that the stress is going to come from the typical stressors. It's all going to be on-chain stuff that has nothing to do with OpenSea. I'm sure that OpenSea's integration of Solana is going to be textbook. They're going to do a really great job, but what we're going to find is that some of the ancillary stuff that was causing stress before and caused those over half dozen shutdowns and restarts of the validated network, that we're not out of the woods yet, because it only takes one really bad smart contract, one really poorly written smart contract to bring any layer one to its knees. As mentioned before, Cardano's no exception. It's going to get slapped upside the head when its time comes, right? And then the only question is, how fast, how well can the developer team respond to these kinds of problems? Will it be day zero? And with OpenSea integrating Solana, if OpenSea sees that there's a problem, will they be able to shift enough of the user experience onto their fully centralized front end for people to feel like they're still having a good experience? And when they do that, will we continue to call it part of a decentralized ecosystem? For my part, this is why I'm already not a huge fan of working with OpenSea. I think a lot of us are kind of like, could take it or leave it. There are other marketplaces. And if I really want a centralized front end, guess what? Shopify will let you put a wallet address at the point of sale and even use cryptocurrency checkout plugins. Hey, sorry to dead name like that, but guys, as far as there being like a fancy centralized front end that could help us solve the NFT and the DeFi and the centralized exchange problem, Web 2.0 still exists, and we've got services like Shopify would actually be more than happy to help us create fiat/crypto gateways to roll our own little custom solutions and solve all these problems, you know, air quotes, later at some point in the future when we feel comfortable with the tech. When we're on the bleeding edge, stuff's going to break. And I think that OpenSea is going to be, they're gonna have front row seats to that Solana breakage. Hopefully they can fix what they mess up though.
Yeah, I know I'm not selling my soul punks, though. My art punks, that is. All right, now, speaking of Gateway, we have Samsung teaming with Nifty Gateway. Now, Nifty Gateway is an NFT platform where you can buy and sell and trade NFTs, and they're teaming up with Samsung for their TV lineup in the remaining part of 2022 here. Now, Nifty Gateway, it's an Ethereum centralized, NFT gateway that was bought by Gemini back in 2019, actually. So essentially teaming up with Nifty Gateway, Gemini, and Samsung, creating this alliance where people are going to have an NFT platform built into their smart TVs. It's going to use the Nifty Gateway's custodial wallet system. So it's going to store it. Your wallet will be on your TV. They work with Beeple, a lot of different artists, a lot of drops. I know BitBoy Crypto, we've worked with them a long, long time ago. But Debate Crypto, I want to ask you, is this going to equate to the average Joe who's never bought an NFT? Are they ever going to, be able to flip buyers into, hey, I saw a sports ad. My favorite athlete was talking about a particular NFT. Oh, you know what? I can just pull up my TV menu and I can just buy it, maybe with my credit card. Is that going to translate? I mean, will that happen on any kind of real level?
Yes. Yes,
okay.
I think it will. I think that what they're doing, as much as the crypto purists are going to hate the fact that, we're not just directly using crypto for everything, and now we're involving this, we're involving Visa and MasterCard and all of these, devil centralized entities. I think that it's pretty genius. And as a business move, if you can make things easier and a great customer experience, and then what you have to look at is Samsung absolutely is just killing it as it relates to selling their TVs. The prices have come down on everything as the years have gone on. And, they've got these picture frame TVs that literally look like a picture frame hanging on your wall. Now we can put some digital art in that picture frame. Somebody that is not crypto savvy is going to have their credit card saved on whatever the account is, whether it's Apple Pay or whatever that, well, not on Samsung probably, but at any event, they're going to be able to just swipe a card and say, hey, I want to buy that. That's freaking cool. And I think that as the NFTs continue to evolve as well, I think they're going to be able to do some cool stuff. Like if you're watching a game, and I think that they're going to have like how people used to get like the posterized or whatever, where somebody would dunk on somebody else and they make a poster of it. I think that real time in game at some point, I think it'll be a little ways down the road, they'll basically be able to freeze frame that and offer it up for sale as TV is being watched. And I think people are going to say, oh man, I love that. I'm going to put that on there. So yeah, I think it makes it easy. I think it makes it straightforward. I think some of the crypto purists are going to hate it, but yeah, it's going to work and people will buy them. It's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, that's actually a very cool utility. I actually really do like the sound of that. Now, Ben, you know, we've worked with Nifty before. Samsung being as big as it is, do you think this is going to catapult Nifty into more of a household name amongst the NFT crowd?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I only know like 3 people who use Samsungs, so it's hard for me to say. I know a lot of people use them, but I don't know. I guess they're just not my kind of people. I really apologize to you Samsung users. No, but I'm talking about the phones, obviously. But to be serious here, I don't know how much this is going to really, if it's done through Nifty Gateway, like it may be one of those things where people are using it, and unless they know what Nifty Gate is, they don't even realize they're using it really. If you look at, like, for instance, your model of TV, you may remember what model you have. You may have went and picked it out. But I bet if all of us were to right here name every model of every TV that we have in our homes, I know I have one Samsung. I don't know what the rest are, you know? So how obvious is it going to be that that's what it's using? I think that's really what, you know, we have to figure out. Like, is it going to be when, you know, before the NFT displays, it'll say the name Nifty Gateway or something like that? Or is this all just like back end stuff? I think that's what, you know, we really got to watch for, and is going to determine whether or not, you know, this really gives a big boost. But here's the big thing for Nifty Gateway. If this goes very successfully, I think this opens up the door for other crypto projects and other businesses that want to get in this world to start using them kind of as, you know, front facing, you know, business opportunity. So that's really where I think the big growth for Nifty Gateway can come in.
All right, now Factor, you know, kind of related to our middle segment. Do you think Nifty Gateway is going to maybe take a page out of their book? You know, these TV users, maybe they are going to want a Solana NFT. Maybe they are going to want an XRP NFT. Maybe they will want a Cardano NFT. Do you see Nifty Gateway branching out and reaching into those other blockchains because, you know, everyone's got a TV?
Yes, but it's a slow play. And what they're doing right now with Samsung, it's before the time. What they're doing is they're doing a marketing play. They want to be announcing it first so the other businesses and everything they can hear about it. Then over a bear market, they're going to start building it up. And then a few years ahead, we're going to hear about it again. Everyone's going to forget about this for a while. So I think it's before its time. It's a good marketing play, both for Samsung and Nifty, of course, but they're going to be developing and working the plan. There's a saying that says, plan your work, then work your plan. And I think that's what Samsung is doing right now. They're going to benefit from the marketing. They want to show that they're in crypto. They're going to benefit. They're going to benefit more from this than what Nifty is for now. But obviously, they're both going to benefit. That's my view on this.
Yeah, I agree, and I totally agree with that. And I think long-term Nifty, you know, once we zoom out, will be the bigger beneficiary, but not at first. Now, Mind Your Biz, I'm just kind of picturing how this is going to play out. Who do you think is going to be responsible for, you know, a stolen NFT? You know, is it going to be Nifty Gateway? Is it going to be Samsung? Does Samsung have an inkling of the idea of what their customer service phone number is going to be going through shortly?
I don't think they know, man. I don't think anything can prepare them. That's a phenomenal framing, so to speak, of this whole issue. Is going to be, how do they try to bridge the user experience of people who are used to, like, speaking into their remote versus people who are like, not your keys, not your coins, right? Like, it's a massive divide between these two user profiles for sure. So yeah, I've got no idea what this is going to look like for Samsung, but here's my take on this news article and on Samsung entering into NFTs specifically. This isn't the first time that Samsung has entered into an extremely tech-forward position. I think it's hilarious that Ben was like, oh, I don't know people who use Samsung phones, because everything that's in an iPhone is made by Samsung, at least for the first 8 years of iPhones existing. At least 60% of everything that goes into an iPhone.
Why can't they use the parts to create a blue text? That's all I want to know.
That's a good point.
Huh?
Got you there.
Fair. Yeah, see, that's why you don't get it. That's why you don't get it. You're not in the club.
Yep. That's right.
Yeah,
Blue
no, I'm
text
definitely
club,
not in the
let's
club.
get it.
Yeah, and you can.
Yeah.
No, man, miss me with anything that requires me to walk around with an eye device in my pocket. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. Seriously, our NSA handlers are busy enough. Why are you just like giving them everything for free like that? Make them
Because
work
you have
for it a little
privacy
bit,
with your
then.
phone, right, Seth? Your phone gives you privacy,
Yes,
right? That's very interesting that you think that.
Yeah,
well, he jailbreaks them. He
does,
jailbreaks his phone. He'll tell you how on his Twitter and his.
It does give me privacy. But if you want,
he's in Naomi's club.
Oh, okay,
got
it.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing: if you want to ask questions, I can answer them and I can educate you. But if you want to make allegations, man, we're at an impasse. So as far as there being an issue with Samsung, though, getting into this news cycle, dude, they've been at the forefront of cryptography for years. Back in 2012, they were the only handset manufacturer with one of these alternate smart OS systems that could be used for government and for state work, because it was the only one that allowed for exchange for email services, professional email services. After that, they created the Knox firmware system that was able to lock down Android phones before there was a bootloader locking service for Apple that was actually robust enough that people couldn't just bypass it and jailbreak. It was so good that Google begged them for that tech, and then they finally open sourced it, which was an act of good faith. That's something that the entire cryptocurrency and blockchain industry relies on, is open source, and they finally went that direction. A couple of years ago, they went into, hey, we have these really great domestic fabrication facilities, one in Central Texas, where we can make Bitcoin mining chips and not be reliant on just one of two foreign chip manufacturers to mine Bitcoin and to secure the networks. Samsung's been a good faith actor in the blockchain and cryptocurrency space for a long time, is what I'm saying. And not just a good faith actor, but an actual innovator. This, to me, a little lackluster, in my opinion. It's an app. And we're talking about like a killer app on smartphones. But bro, you know what? Wake me up when something like this exists on an Apple TV or a Roku. Because I think then we're going to see the adoption that Samsung is imagining. It's just, it ain't going to happen just through their TVs. That's my take on it.
That was a good breakdown on Samsung. So almost made me want to go buy a Samsung phone. But you know what? I still got my Nokia brick. That is all we got time for. And it looks like Mind Your Biz stole it from Debate Crypto right there at the end. It was a close one. You know what? It's because we had a couple security questions. You know, you got to go on. I mean,
he was talking so bad about the iPhones, and then he says, "Hey, let's wait until we get it on an Apple TV, then we can
balanced.
Talk about it."
He's balanced. You know, we got to give him that. But all right, Mind Your Biz. You won. Go ahead. Feel free. Leave us with some parting thoughts.
Well, parting thoughts are always just this. Around the blockchain co-panelists, guys, it's always a pleasure to be here with such great thinkers, such clear thinkers, people who are trying to help educate in the space. And it's always a pleasure to be on BitBoard Crypto. Really am flattered that you guys keep inviting me back. It's a pleasure to be here. Audience, if you're not subbed to everybody that was on the panel today, what are you doing with your life? It's free. You can sub to as many people as you want, and you're going to get really great feedback and really great education from everybody that you heard from today. So that's all I got for you guys. Gratitude. Appreciate it.
And if you're watching on an iPhone device, you have to hit the like button or the view won't count. So please help us out there. That's all we got time for. Make sure you check out Meta Money, Frankie Candles, and, of course, NFT Alpha Show. Until next time, BitSquad. DEEZY out.